Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone had a great Monday yesterday and is now having a great Tuesday. We're taking a look at today's severe weather threat. We do have an enhanced risk for severe weather today, and even a severe threat throughout tomorrow on Wednesday, and even through Thursday. We're going to be discussing about the next heat wave that could be the potential for the Central Plains and stuff like that. But let's get into it. As you can see, we are looking at the day one convective outlook. This is the severe thunderstorm outlook. We do have an enhanced risk for severe weather today across parts of central and northeastern Texas. Definitely one of the main threats with this one is going to be damaging winds and hail, but also tornadoes could be possible. As we look at the tornado threat, we do have a 5% chance here for tornadoes across that brown shaded area, and also a very large area of a 2% risk of tornadoes. I mean, these storms could be very widespread and possibly produce multiple tornadoes throughout later tonight. So you need to be staying weather aware and stuff like that. So here's the wind risk. We have a 30% chance here for 70-mile-per-hour winds. That does go through the overnight hours, and we will be looking at the future radar, so you will know the timing on this. But again, big time winds are going to be within these storms. They're going to be very damaging, as well as hail. We have storms ongoing right now that are going to be producing large hail, but as we head into the overnight hours, the hail threat is going to be diminishing, and more of a tornado and hail threat will be existing across Texas. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch here for across portions central and northeastern Texas. That's including Dallas, that's including Junction, Waco, and areas like that. Abilene is also included in that. Also Midland and areas near Lubbock is now on a severe thunderstorm watch as well until 10 p.m. As you can see, the severe wind risk is high, and also the severe hail risk is high. Tornadoes right now aren't going to be the main threat here. There are going to be a chance for tornadoes, but it's not going to be one of those main threats here. As you can see, we go look at the other watches here, and this is the current watch. Let's look at the other watch here. Doesn't affect for even New Mexico here. That was issued a lot earlier, but still in effect until 10 p.m. for those storms here near Midland and Lubbock, Texas. So again, stay weather aware this afternoon and evening in Texas. Let's look at our future radar for today. This is 3 p.m. so we're past here. Let's go to around 5 p.m. here, where we're currently recording this video out. It's currently 4:48 p.m. As you can see, we are seeing storms across central Texas and western Texas, bringing some damaging winds and hail. One of those main threats throughout this right now, through 5 p.m., maybe even through 7 p.m., is going to be hail. Severe wind and tornadoes also may be a threat for those discrete supercells, those lone supercells that are away from other storms. As you can see, these storms do, as we head to 7 p.m., they do become a little more clustered, a little more damaging wind threat. Now, as we head into 8 p.m. here, you do see these storms become kind of a bow echo. These indicate some very strong winds within the thunderstorm, especially the front of the thunderstorm. Again, definitely one of those damaging wind threats are going to be possible as we head to those evening hours, even into the overnight hours, where we see even more storms develop. This is 10 p.m. We do see those storms, kind of two lines of storms, a double wind threat, a double whammy here. It looks like maybe in store for Dallas. Even though we do see those storms kind of weakening out, we may see even another gust front with no precipitation impact Dallas. So watch out for that. And look at over near San Antonio around 12 a.m. tonight. We have a big time damaging wind threat here with that kind of bow echo look to those storms there. More storms just develop very rapidly there. That into the San Antonio area very late tonight. As we head through 2 a.m., that approaches more of the Houston area, the Corpus Christi area. So you definitely need to watch out for that, but especially for tomorrow morning. That'll be hitting around Houston 5 a.m. with some damaging winds and heavy rainfall and maybe some small hail. I don't think a tornado will be much of a threat since this is going to be over by 5 a.m. and not much tornado ingredients are going to be in place for these storms around 5 a.m. tomorrow. So I wouldn't worry about tornadoes with definitely damaging winds. Have those ways to get severe thunderstorm warnings. We may see a few intense severe thunderstorm warnings for the overnight hours. And we're looking at the tropics. As you can see in the thumbnail, we're looking at what's going on with the tropics, what's going on in the Atlantic. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so you can see the full western Atlantic here, and as you can see, we're going to be going forward. This is 1 a.m. today. We're not looking at today. There's no tropic activity going on today. However, as we go on with time, look at down here in the Pacific. Possibly some storms here, possibly some activity going on in the Pacific. We do have some invest going on over there, and look at that, possibly a hurricane as we head throughout 114 hours. That's only 114 hours from now. That's only 5 days from now. That is definitely some worrisome. That's going to be going into Mexico. And again, we also could see some activity across the East Coast. Let's go ahead. You could look at 12Z run here. And look at that. Possibly a major hurricane headed to Mexico around the end of May there. And as we head even more forward, this same storm goes into the Caribbean, which is definitely a very one of those ways to get a hurricane out in the Atlantic, is crossing Mexico, and still the low pressure system still survives and this strengthens once again. Look at that, possibly a hurricane across the East Coast around early June, and that's not terribly far out at all. This is only over 200 hours out from now, and even as we head throughout that area, that is 210 hours. And again, that major hurricane goes to Mexico in just a few days. So we're going to have to really watch this as we head forward. And I may make a separate video on this, especially if these models continue to trend this into Mexico as a major hurricane. I may make a video specifically on these, and even multiple videos if this actually happens. Again, the Pacific hurricane season is not the same as the Atlantic hurricane season. It starts much earlier, so this is, I wouldn't be surprised here if this does happen. There's a lot of warm waters, some very warm waters in this typical Pacific area, so definitely we're gonna have to continue to watch this here. However, let's go ahead and take a look when our next heat wave is going to be. Now, here's the Climate Prediction Center. I think we've taken a look at this a lot over the last videos, but this is constantly updated here. This was updated today by the Climate Prediction Center. As you can see, for the next 6 to 10 days, in 6 to 10 days, we are going to see some very warm temperatures, possibly a heat wave across much of the eastern half of the U.S. here. So we're going to have to watch, again, another heat wave in place for these typical areas. Some very hot temperatures maybe in place for Monday to Friday. So the end of May into early June, we are going to see a massive spike in temperatures. Some very summerish temperatures, heat wave temperatures over here in much of the eastern half of the U.S. Meanwhile, we do have some cooler temperatures up here. That means we could very well see some severe weather once again, possible across the Midwest, possible across the South. Again, another severe weather setup could be ahead here for late May. I think it's going to be quite active for around May 30th to early June. That's going to be a very active period of severe weather I think could be in place again for that area. If you did enjoy the video, I would recommend subscribing to the channel. I'll have more updates on that tropical system, severe weather, and stuff like that. Again, make sure to subscribe, support the channel and all like that so I can make daily videos like this. I did take a break yesterday. I did upload a sponsored video by Kestrel Instruments. Check out Kestrel Instruments. It's actually a link in the description box below, the top link of the description. Click that if you're interested in any of their products. And just to note, they have very cool weather instruments. Share this video with any friends or family that may want these, like these daily forecast videos. And as always, stay safe.